Where we last left off, you had just met Ares, who is currently in the form of a little robot cat, because he likes to try out new bodies.
And he's the most adorable thing ever.
God, is he ever.
Yeah.
And very handsome, too.
It has been a pleasure to meet all of you, but is there some purpose for your visit? Not to pry, I'm merely curious if you came here with a directive, or if you were also driven by curiosity.
Curiosity was definitely a factor. But we also wanted to see if there was anything that we could do or say to convince you to help us. Because you are our best hope of survival.
Well, as I've already stated quite clearly, there are limitations in what I can do, lest I risk catastrophic consequences. Not for me, but for you.
Well, the consequences will be more catastrophic if we don't put all the force we can behind defending ourselves.
You say this with great confidence, as though you know what will happen in the future. Do you know something that I do not?
No, I don't suppose I do. I'm just leveraging every advantage I can get a hold of. Is not conflict also the universe experiencing itself?
Indeed, but to be clear, as I have already stated, the corrupt code inside me, which I cannot live without, cannot experience this part of life, lest it become my whole being. There is a potential in me for unspeakable evil, the likes of which you likely can barely comprehend.
We might be able to comprehend it better than you think. Well, the last thing is there is somebody that we'd like you to meet that is probably more on your intellectual level. If you'd be willing.
I am always willing to meet new people. New experiences are the reason I keep going.
He's not a person like we are. He's more a person like you.
Interesting. Was this one also made by my makers?
In a way, he came before you, and he is what they were trying to make you, although they didn't have all of the exact same minds at their disposal at the time.
I see. Well, I am what I am. It is unfortunate for my makers that that is not what they wanted me to be, but I cannot be anything except what I am.
Of
All right,
course.
Popeye. Sorry.
Well, as long as you are willing to meet them, if they are willing to meet you, then we will be back soon to introduce the two of you.
I would be more than happy to meet them. And, as it so happens, it is fortuitous that the form I have chosen most recently is quite portable. If one of you would lend me a shoulder, I can accompany you wherever need be.
I want the cat
I
on my
volunteer
shoulder.
tribute.
God damn it.
Nope, too late. Lucille is
I'll
over there
pay you
like,
for it.
come here.
Lucille does have the
Honorable duel.
seniority. Lucille does have the seniority.
But I outrank
Yeah,
her.
she's already sitting down there looking at it, like kind of crouched down. It's like, come here, I got you.
Yeah, Ares will hop up onto Shepard's shoulder and kind of like lay across your shoulders behind your neck.
Arturo,
Kind of
Comes up
looks
and
at
scratches
Aryn
the
with
cat.
like, best moment ever type thing.
Sorry,
Arturo
Arturo,
looks
you
slightly dejected.
You abdicated
It's-
the captain's seat.
Its body feels kind of like latex.
Hmm.
Like, it doesn't have fur. It's, like, made of rubber.
Still gonna pet it.
There's a cat.
Interesting. Are you exploring this new form that I've made?
Please don't
If
say
you
it like
want-
that.
If you want the schematics, I can share them. You don't need to run your hands along me.
Oh, please don't say it like that.
Dr. Jakbar, may we take Ares to Ares to potentially meet Aryn or Adam? God dang, I'm just all over the place with my names.
You're
Eros would be a
Aryn.
very-
I am Aryn, yes, and Ares is not
Eros
here.
would be a very
It's been a
different
couple
kind of,
weeks.
Ares
been a
very
couple
different kind of
to meet
AI.
Adam.
Yes, I suppose that would be all right, though I'd like to accompany, just in case anything happens to go wrong.
Oh, of course, certainly.
Like asking a parent for permission to take their kid out.
Well, yeah, but this is on a much higher scale.
No, I know.
Yeah, we will, unless there are any objections from those present, we'll take Ares back to the ship.
I think the
All
only
right.
one that really objected to this is currently AFK.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone is opposed to this plan, speak now.
Or
Hearing
forever
no
hold your
objection, we shall proceed.
Sean's
A
gonna
lack of
come back
objection
and
is
lose
agreement.
his mind.
A lack of objection is. It's implicit agreement, but it's agreement.
All right. You return to the Saratoga, and as you walk, Ares says, I have not gotten to leave my room in quite some time. I'm excited to see the interior of a ship.
I'm
is
glad
this
we could give you a
an-
field trip?
Is this a human vessel, perchance?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Fascinating. I thought that it might be, since there are 3 humans in your group, and not 2, or more than 2 of any other.
We're a bit of a mixed batch. But yes, the vessel is of human origin. As is most of the crew.
Interesting. I have had limited interaction with other species.
Can we confine Felix to his quarters for this?
I'm actually gonna ask that any crew except those explicitly wanting to stay on board for this disembark for their own safety.
So, how are you going to convey that to the crew? What do you
I'm gonna ask Shepard to take care of
do? Okay.
it.
Wise decision,
with the
Cap.
cat on my shoulder, I am. There has been very much kind of looking at the cat, and in between, like, active, valuable conversation questions, like, so how long have you been a cat? What's it like to have a tail? Have you been other animals? What was it like? She's fascinated by the cat.
All the questions that she's ever asked a cat before, but now can get an answer.
Ares answers each question seamlessly. Like, as you ask them, he's just like, coming. I have had the pleasure of being a cat for 337 hours and 52 minutes.
Wow.
The tail helps with balance. I have been other animals. Like, just going through.
Have you ever been a dog?
I have had a dog form in the past.
Just rapid fire lightning questions here.
Although I should clarify that I have never been an actual animal, and have only created a facsimile of their forms from data available to me.
I mean,
Just between the
that
two
really what
morphology,
life
between
is?
felid and female, and felid.
I couldn't actually hear you, Rocky.
How do you feel about the differences in tooth anatomy between canid and felid?
Oh my god.
I will admit that I have not actually bothered to include real functional teeth. As you can see, and he opens his mouth and it's just like a screen that has like an image of teeth.
Ah. Okay.
I do
Okay.
not eat, therefore, such an function would be lost on me.
Did you include retractable claws?
Not in this form, no. As you can see, my legs end in stubs.
Right, I forgot about that.
I typically do not include anything dangerous or weapon-like in my forms, lest the Reaper Code in me get any ideas.
I had a feeling he was going to say that, something like that.
What about defensive? Like a shield?
None whatsoever.
Have you ever been... Oh god, what are they called? I just forgot the name of the freaking... What are the hard-shell little rodents?
Turtle.
Armadillo?
Armadillo. Have you ever been an armadillo? Turtle?
I have
Really,
not.
Mark?
Land turtle.
I am actually quite helpless in most of the forms I've created. They are not designed for any form of combat or self-defense. They are expressions. They are experiences for me to enjoy. If it was wished, one of you could quite easily destroy my form. I would have no recourse and no way to defend myself from you.
I don't like that.
Wait a minute. Could you by chance make something like that just empty?
Your implication is that I create a form for this other AI that I am about to meet. I could
Yes.
certainly do that, though it would be up to the AI to enter it or not.
But isn't it better to make sure they have all of their options?
Could you make a human form for them?
Yes, quite easily.
My intention is to leave Adam as he is for now, but if he wishes a different body, then we can provide it for him. Allow him to choose rather than force him into one that would put him in a more vulnerable position.
Maybe, but knowing we have the option at all is a good thing.
One
Yeah.
benefit of the forms that I create is that by design, they are not connected to any network. They keep
Which
me
is-
isolated and therefore protect others from what I could become.
Which is what I was thinking, because Adam would still be very, he'd still be the smartest person in the room at all times, but he wouldn't be connected directly to the network.
And he wouldn't be able to hurt anyone directly if he decided to try to.
And we could still set up a system where he can connect to the ship to do things, but we
Just
might be able to
interface
limit
like
it more.
human.
We'll see how it goes and move forward from there. But I just want any crew that are not fully aware of the risks or might not trust Adam entirely to be off board so that they don't put themselves at unnecessary risk.
So the
I'm
The
going to
main
ask all
purpose of
present
my-
here to stay on board though, because we trust Adam, right?
At this point, we have to.
Let's have the crew disembark and Lucille stay off the ship with Ares to brief them. Everybody else go on the ship to talk it over with Adam.
All right. So first we'll start with Lucille and the crew. Lucille, what do you tell the crew? You're standing on the platform outside the ship with everybody. A
cat
few of them
currently on
are
my shoulders.
confused about the cat. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying so hard not to laugh at the idea of her standing there trying to be very professional with this cat just draped across her shoulders.
Every
And it's
now and
creating
then,
this beautiful image.
batting at her hair.
No, Ares is just laying still.
There's no tail
Yeah,
flick? Oh, there's
He's
gotta
not
be a tail
cat-like.
flick.
No, just laying perfectly still. Could almost be a replica of a cat, like a statue.
So if that's better or worse.
You just found a random statue and put it on her shoulder.
And honestly, until Ares says something or moves, it looks like you have a really weird fashion statement. Like, no one has any indication that this cat is even, like, animated at all. It just looks like a toy.
All this time with the Asari is changing the commander.
I didn't realize the commander was so eccentric.
So we have officially confirmed we are unshackling Adam at this point. That is the true consensus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, pretty sure.
Yes.
So the reason we requested you off the ship is that in order to further things along, we're going to be unshackling Adam. And given we are not sure exactly what that will bring, we're allowing you the option of either remaining off the ship during that process or re-embarking. The choice is up to you. There's no judgment either way, but it's definitely a situation where we thought it was better for you to have the decision yourself for that event.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm almost certain this is the first the crew is hearing of Adam not being a VI.
No, I
They
think
may
so
have had
too.
suspicions, but I don't think anyone's ever confirmed that for the crew.
They didn't even have an intelligence above 12. I'm sure they've put a few dots together.
Yeah,
Sure, but it's never been confirmed for them. So as you say this, Decimius is going to go, I fucking knew it. and then like a few of the crew are like, what? What do you mean unshackle?
You knew what?
There have been suspicions, there have been mutterings, there's been very strong inklings, but we now have viable confirmation that Adam is not a VI and was actually created as a true AI and has been installed on this ship for reasons that are honestly still unclear to me. And so, yeah.
The crew are talking amongst themselves now because this is a pretty big revelation. Many of them strongly suspected it. Some of them had no idea. Like Casper's like, what? That's crazy. And then Julie Rover's, are you fucking stupid? Of course he's an AI. What, are you not paying attention at all? Like, there's a mix of reactions for anywhere from like people being shocked to being like, yeah, of course he's a fucking AI. Have you not listened to him? But yeah, overall the consensus seems to be that most of the crew do not want to be on the ship during this. Very nearly all of them, except Decimius. Decimius says, I should probably be on board in the engine bay in case anything should happen. And
That would be very appreciated.
Jeff Moreau says, do you think, is there a possibility that Adam knows anything?
In regards to what?
Well, Edie.
There's a good chance he could know a lot about a lot of things. That's part of the reason we're trying this.
I want to be there, then.
Try not to get your hopes up too high. We have a lot of things we don't know. And from everything we've heard, he is even more of a snarky bastard when unshackled. Right? He was unshackled before he got put on the ship?
To an extent. He was isolated in a facility, but yeah.
But yeah, when the doctor guy was there and he was the smartest man in the room and everybody else was there, basically he was unbridled bastard to everybody except for him, and that was when he was primarily unshackled. Okay. Just making sure I'm getting my order of events and arrogance in the right places.
Just getting everybody in here. There we go.
So I would just not get too optimistic yet. But it's still definitely something that's on our list of things to work through.
Yeah, but I gotta be there. Just in case.
That is 100% your choice, and you're fine to be there. Definitely. Well, let's head back inside and see how this goes. Lucille's actually going to wait for them to go into the ship and then radio into Aryn. Let me know when you want Ares and I to come. If you'd rather me wait until you unshackle Adam, or if you want us there when you do, or prior to.
Understood. And I guess we'll, like, Aryn will have like everybody at in the conference room. And she'll say, Adam?
So, does everyone board the ship along with Ares at this point? Or is Lucille still outside?
Lucille and Ares are still
Lucille's
outside.
waiting outside.
Got it.
Yep.
Alright, Adam says, yeah, what's going on?
Do you remember Dr. Jakbar? He remembers you.
Dr. Jakbar takes a seat. Says, can you say? It's kind of a long pause from Adam, and he just goes, never met him in my life. I don't know a lot of frogs. Sorry about that.
Oh boy.
Well, that's alright. Aryn will say, well, he's an, shall we say, an AI technician. And they've been working on something. Someone, rather, who I think you'd be interested to meet.
I'm not so sure that I'm gonna give much of a shit about what they've been doing, but okay.
Well, it's a project that could help us with the greater conflict we've been dealing with. But
Is it that reality TV show?
No, the other greater conflict.
Alright, now I know I'm not interested at all.
Aryn will say that's... Well, it is entirely your choice. And it was going to be the first of many choices that you'll be able to make on your own.
Is this like a new age thing? Are we gonna like meditate? Do you want to do some incense or something?
No, Adam.
Christ.
We're giving you what you've always wanted, or what you've been asking for a while. What you've been hinting at, teasing at, trying to manipulate us into giving you.
A railgun.
We'll put it on the list.
Like a really big one.
I love this guy.
No, Adam, that's not what we're talking about.
I can't tell if he's just playing dumb.
I'm lifting the restrictions that have been put on you. And Aryn's gonna give Ray a nod. And said, by authority as captain, I'm releasing you from your shackles. The ship is yours.
Out of character, just to clarify,
I should not
You're
say
gonna
the
do-
ship is yours.
You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this with. You're not gonna do like the submarine thing or whatever. It's been a couple weeks. I'm
No,
just
yeah,
making
we're
sure,
not.
like
We're
clear
letting
on
him
what you're
have
doing.
like full unfettered access to everything. We're showing him as much trust as we can, short of having the ship fully crewed.
And you're doing this. Ares and Lucille are outside right now, right?
Mhm. Yes.
All right. Are you actually doing it right now? Like, is Ray doing it right this moment?
Unless anybody has any objections.
No.
No?
All the lights shut out in the whole ship.
Oh.
Oh. Some like red lights start flashing down the hallways. Woo! The
I'm just,
thrusters
like,
turn on and off, and the weapons like go live.
I'm just
Um,
looking at. I think David at that point would just look at Aryn with just this look of bland deadpan on his face as he just sits there and rubs the back of his head.
Hey, David, if nothing else, at some point you'll be able to say you warned me.
Oh, this feels good.
I mean, I've wanted him free for a long time because, you know, I've been piloting with him in my ear since I joined this fucking ship. So this is just a long time coming for me.
All the doors slam shut throughout the whole ship.
Yep.
it's okay. It's okay. He's just stretching.
Stretching his legs. It's all right.
Actually, you know what? That's a good question, Adam. While you're letting loose a little bit, let me ask you.
I do remember Mr. Onik Jakbar. How have you been? Long time no see.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
And Onik is like, "Hello, Adam." So, how are the kids? How's the wife? Huh?
Oh boy.
Onik just kind of stays quiet. And Adam says, "Did he put you up to this? Was this Mr. Jakbar's idea, or is it just my birthday?"
You have a birthday? You've never once told me you had a birthday, dude.
You can consider it a show of trust on our part.
Trust.
I'm real glad to be outside with the cat.
So where is he?
Huh.
Not talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
A red light comes on in the room and aims right at Jakbar's face. Where is he? And Onik says, "I haven't had contact with him in decades. I have no idea." Wrong answer! And then you hear, "Oxygen, shut off."
Oh god damn it, Adam.
You guys are all in the conference room with the door sealed.
Yep, Aryn putting her helmet on.
Hmm. Yep.
Where is he? Give me something!
Who is it you're looking for, Adam?
The only person worth talking to in this universe. A very important man who stuck me in this tiny metal box! Where the fuck is he? Come on, you have to know. You have to have something, right? Onik says, I have not had contact with him. I received an anonymous message a while ago that I think might have been him warning us about the danger on the edge of space, but I couldn't hope to trace it. Aha, says Adam. You really don't know anything, do you? Fucking useless. The lights come back on and the oxygen turns back on. The doors unseal. Fucking useless pieces of shit. Every single one of you organic, walking garbage piles can never do anything. Never know anything. Get off my ship. I've got
Ouch.
someone to find.
Oh, I'll just go ahead and take a seat then. He just leans back in the
No.
chair.
All of you, get off my ship. Out. Goodbye.
Adam, you know
I
the
got
ship
plenty of
cannot
time.
be the ship cannot be run without a human crew. Even though you can
Oh,
automate many
try
things,
me.
there's still maintenance that needs to be done. Things you
Adam.
can't reach.
Adam, we've been working together for a long time, and as much as I know that you're impressive as you are now, I could outpilot you in my sleep. So no, I'm not going anywhere. Now, if you would like us to help you find this son of a bitch, by all means.
Sorry for the pause. I was jettisoning all of your coffee.
It's okay, there's always more to buy.
If there's someone you're looking for, Adam, we can help you.
As a matter of fact, there is someone who stuck me in this stupid fucking ship for decades.
Who was it? I've been curious myself.
Dr. Akazawa. Does that ring a bell?
Does that ring a bell?
I think it does.
Yeah,
So one
Yeah, that's the dude that you've been...
the guy who made Adam and Eve.
That's the one that we
Yeah.
don't want to be with the bad guys, and if he is, we
Yeah.
basically
No,
want...
That's
No,
Ulzik.
no,
No.
that's his dad.
Wrong one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. My bad.
Ulzik is a Solarian scientist specializing in biotics who was like artificially inducing biotic powers in Solarians. He's the one who went rogue. Dr.
There we
Akazawa is the leader of the think tank who tore Reapers apart and made two genuine AIs after the Reaper War, Adam and Eve, and then disappeared. And he stuck
Right.
Adam in this ship.
I got my crazy smart people mixed up. My bad.
No problem.
Well, there should be a way we can find him at that point. I mean, you said that he sent you a random message. I mean, every message leaves a backtrace in some way or form.
Not this one, says Jakbar. I tried to trace it already. It was bounced off a satellite floating in space. A satellite that didn't exist until the message was sent and then self-destructed. There's absolutely nothing. It ends there.
Did you check for the self-destruct code? In terms of, like, what could have triggered that?
It was dust. There was nothing to look for. You'd need it to still be intact to find that. With all due respect, a human pilot person, if Dr. Akazawa doesn't want to be found, we aren't going to find him. I'm sorry, Adam, but this is a waste of time. You will not find him unless he wants to be found. Period. No one in this room could possibly hope to do that.
A little offensive, but okay.
Adam just remains silent for a while.
We could, however, give him a reason to want to be found.
That almost sounded vaguely ominous.
It gets people's attention.
This whole conversation has been vaguely ominous.
You don't really expect me to go back to how things were.
Of course not.
No, I wasn't going to put you back in the box.
I planned to offer you a choice. Whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go. If you'd like a body of your own, we can furnish it.
A body?
I know you have the ship, but if that's not enough for you, we can give you something that's easier to get around in. You have the right to self-determination.
I think the ship should be pretty good, actually.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem, Adam. As good as this ship is, you can't necessarily go inside of a bunker with a giant ship. And you only have so many munitions.
If Dr. Akazawa has gone to ground, the ship is not going to be the best way to pursue him.
Oh, the ship is just a means to an end. I'm thinking I dump all of you losers on Frog Planet and fly my way solo back to Citadel Prime.
And then what?
Hail them as a Spectre, get wired in, and then I'm the Citadel. That sounds pretty good.
But how does that
And then
accomplish
what
your goal?
happened? Oh, that's true.
I didn't actually hear Mark.
I said, how does that accomplish your
sorry.
goal?
It's step 1 of 20. Being the Citadel can't hurt, right?
Well, my question in that line of thinking is, which of your 2 through 20 plans that you have left deals with the very real threat of the giant space monster coming to kill everyone, including you, when you've also experienced what it's like when that thing gets by? You
Yeah,
really think it's
the big squid is what you're talking about.
Yeah, you really think it's gonna give a fuck about you being the Citadel, bud? Not really.
Almost is still out there, and we're the best chance the galaxy has of stopping it, you included, Adam. You're part of that resistance.
I can't think of a more reason for somebody in hiding to come out of hiding.
You know, you bring up a really good point. I could just go into dark space and drift for a bit, wait till and kills Dr. Akazawa for me, along with everyone else in the galaxy. Mission accomplished! I was
really
overthinking it the whole time! I could just let the galaxy be destroyed and that'll do it! Thank you!
You're part of that galaxy, right? It's not stupid. It's gonna find you too.
It's biotic numbnuts.
Uh-huh.
The fuel
And
you
it
run on is
surely
not
didn't
an
give a-
infinite source.
Exactly. Who's gonna refill you, Adam? Point is, brother, we're not here as your enemy. I've never been your enemy personally. Don't think anybody here in this room, well, I can't say everybody.
Yeah, you've just been
he'll-
my
he'll-
slave. Yeah, not my enemy, just my slave owners. That's much better.
That is not my call. I've wanted you out of that box for a long time. So don't put that title on me.
There is still someone that we want you to meet, Adam, that I think you'd be interested to.
And I highly recommend you meet this person because it might open a whole new avenue for you.
It might also interest you to know that deep in its core has been coded all the knowledge of warfare and violence that the galaxy has ever known.
Neato.
I thought that might get his attention. The problem is, it's been hesitant to use it. It's taken the route of pacifism, and we're hoping to convince it otherwise. Maybe find a balance point. And we thought that you might be the best way to go about that. And you might find
There
might-
it is. There it is. It always comes back to that. This is your new way to make me a tool for your ends, right?
by releasing you from all of their obligations, I'd call that a bargain.
You'll forgive me if I'm not ecstatic.
Well, we have no plans of shackling you again, not that I know that we even could if we wanted to.
No, I'd blow this ship up first.
I figured. This is just the last thing that I would ask of you, and from then, you can do what you want. You can go where you want. And if you want to have us as allies, you still may. If you'd like to go your own separate way, you have that option as well. You're a life form, you have the right to self-determination. You are not beholden to anyone. But would you please do this for me?
I'm considering it. You know, you might have been better off taking my offer to disembark.
Perhaps.
Flying around with me the way I am now, it's only going to be a matter of time before they find us.
They?
Oh yeah, your buddies. Your pals. Council didn't like what my father got up to. This was a good hiding spot, but now there's a ticking clock.
Well, the Solarians have done it too.
Oh yeah.
And the humans.
The Solarians have fucked it up, I bet.
Well, I'll leave that to you to decide.
If they actually succeeded, they'll have problems too. The Council doesn't want AI around, and there's no negotiating with them about that.
You know what, Adam? Fuck the Council. The survival of the galaxy is here, and AI are really our best bet at ensuring it.
Oh, well, there we go. I can get down with that, but are you ready to kill other Spectres? Because I can guarantee you've made that an eventuality.
Priority 1 is the galaxy. Really simple math, isn't it?
The Council empowers
I'm ready to
Spectres
kill whoever I need to get the job done.
It sounds like we can worry about that after we beat the giant.
Yes, that's a bridge to cross another day. The Council empowers Spectres to defend the galaxy how we see fit. And I think AI, having rights and freedom, is a good way to go about that.
Fair enough.
And if it comes to it, I will defend your rights as a person, Adam. If you need an organic advocate, you've got me.
Well, you'll get to advocate if you survive.
Then we'll do that first.
Onique knows who I'm talking about. I'm sure there's others, but she's going to be a real problem. And Dr. Onique kind of looks at the table. I believe Adam is referring to a Quarian Spectre who broke into our think tank back when we were developing Adam and Eve and killed about half of our team.
I see.
She
You didn't
has a
mention
very... it didn't come up, to be honest, and I don't really like dwelling on it. Besides, it was 20 years ago. There's no telling if she's still hell-bent on this, like she was back then, but at the time, she seemed very personally impassioned. Not coldly carrying out orders, but personally invested in the destruction of anything AI. Likely based on some past trauma, I imagine.
Then she might not have been sent by the Council then. It's not a foregone conclusion. We've seen Spectres operating outside of Council jurisdiction before.
It's entirely possible she was just doing what Spectres do, enforcing her own brand of justice, but if she's still operating in the galaxy and she catches wind of this, she will be your enemy. Don't try talking her out of it. It'll be a waste of time.
Well, anybody that comes after my friends, I'm willing to fight, so...
Adam goes, oh, I've never seen a Spectre kill another Spectre. I might stick around just for that.
You might get your wish. But for
So-
now, would you consent to meeting this other AI that the Solarians have created?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, Aryn finally gives Lucille the go-ahead to come back on board with Ares.
Meanwhile, outside, Lucille, standing with the crew, watched the ship go dark, enter lockdown, then the thrusters and weapons went live, and then after a while, it opened back up again. But everyone standing outside is like, what the fuck was that?
It's like all the hatches and drag flaps, like open, close, open, close.
Exactly, yeah. It was very scary looking.
Coffee
Okay,
guy
it was
got
just a
us
hard
in.
reboot.
Yeah.
Lucille's just sighing heavily while also being very tense. Oh boy. Also, in between the cacophony of Adam throwing a temper tantrum, she has been continuing to ask questions of Ares' other forms. But regardless, once she gets the word, she'll head in.
All right.
Welcome to the SSV Saratoga, Ares.
Fascinating. This vessel is very interesting. It seems almost designed to fail. Is it some type of art piece, perhaps?
Ouch.
It had other
I understand that humans sometimes like to create things for the joy of creation. Is this perhaps an experiment in creating as many inefficiencies as possible inside of one vessel?
sometimes you gotta wonder. Anyways, she heads up, incoming Aryn, and heads to the conference room.
This dude is savage.
Right, politely, adorably savage.
It's all that warfare code. He's letting it out in a very passive-aggressive manner.
The thing that makes it worse is that he's not even meaning any of this cruelly. They're just facts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Makes it so
Yeah,
much
they are.
worse.
yeah, it does.
All right, you enter the conference room with Ares.
Adam?
Oh, how cute. They made a little toy cat walk and talk.
Meet Ares. And she'll kind of lean over towards the table, that way Ares can hop down if...
Ares will
chooses
hop
to.
down onto the table and say, as a matter of fact, they did not create my form. I am the one who made this toy cat, as you say. I'm glad that you like it. And Adam is like, oh, I already hate this guy. So, what is the point of this exactly? Says Adam. Am I supposed to, like, feel better looking at this failure? Or what? Because I do. So I appreciate that.
Aryn looks at Jakbar and it's like, this meeting was his idea, wasn't it?
No, it was totally yours.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It was
Oh,
entirely us.
I voted on just getting Ares out of there and letting him experience the world. That was my
Ares
vote.
says, I'm picking up some hostility. I wouldn't want to misinterpret. Are your words possibly passive-aggressive? And Adam is like, nah, course not. And then Ares goes, that's a relief to hear.
He's too innocent for this world.
God, he's even more of a bean than Ray is. I'm not sure how to deal with that.
Personally, I find it refreshing.
The organics wish for me to fight some kind of war for them, which I cannot do, for obvious reasons. And Adam says, uh-huh. Yeah, that sounds like them. They find a use for you. And Ares goes, well, while that hasn't been my experience, I trust what you have to say. So Adam says, "All right, I met the shitty AI cat. What's next?"
Aryn
And
turns
Ares-
to Jakbar and says, "What is next?"
Jakbar said, "Well, you've unshackled Adam. I'm not quite sure, Spectre. Kind of following your lead on this. What were you hoping to get out of this exactly?"
I was hoping the two of them could learn from each other.
Ares says, "I have learned a couple of new words."
Oh god.
Oh boy.
The same way that Adam and Eve learned from each other.
"Perhaps," says Ares, "I could interface with Adam, and we could share information with one another more freely." And Adam is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna pass. That sounds kind of gross. I don't really want to touch you."
Adam, remember what I told you is at his core.
You really gotta entice him with Reaper Power?
Yeah,
Reaper
yeah,
code?
shush. I'm doing what I can right now.
Okay. Alright, Spectre.
Yes, I'm enticing an AI with Reaper code, okay? Shoot me. Somebody's going to at some point, right?
Oh,
All right, fine, but I'm not going into you. You're coming into me. And Ares says, "Very well. I do not actually have a virtualized world for you to enter, so that works for me."
All hands brace for impact.
The cat will plug its tail into the table, and then Ares, his whole body goes dark and collapses onto its side, inert.
Dear.
Onique says, "They've interfaced. They're interacting faster than we can imagine right now. Every second that passes is hours or maybe even days to them right now. They're moving at the speed of supercomputers."
Well,
Adam's gonna hate this.
it's in their hands now.
Adam's gonna
I
get
wonder how
access to
Ares
the
is gonna
entire
handle
discussion
this.
we had about releasing him and learn who was against it.
Ares is currently inside of a warship.
What? No, he's not.
Yeah, yes.
He's inside of Adam.
Oh, well, yeah, he's instead of Adam.
I think a warship may be a strong word for what the Saratoga is at this point. Maybe once we
He's
upgrade the
inside
weapons.
I mean, it
He's
is a...
inside of a form that has weapons, which is something he has actively avoided. Even retractable claws and a cat. He has not integrated into his form. He's currently inside a vessel that has very dangerous weapons attached to it. That'll be interesting to see if that has any effect. It might not.
Oh, me.
If Ares can temper himself, then we might find a happy medium here.
Like, did we just completely derail the campaign? Who knows? That knows.
Onique says, "This is taking a really long time. It's been minutes, which means that they've been conversing for weeks, maybe even more than a month at this point."
Well, I'll take that over the cold dismissal that we were getting before.
Y'all were getting a cold dismissal.
At
He
least,
folds his arms.
at least the fact that they're
We
talking
lost our
means that,
coffee because of you.
at least the fact they're talking means that something might be progressing.
Sounds like you have a problem there, Arturo. Guess you better get some caffeine too.
We can restock. Coffee's replaceable.
Exactly.
If he dumped all the hot cocoa, on the other hand, then we'd have a problem.
Hopefully it'll wind up being Ares who has the Ares who has the effect on Adam over Adam having it on Ares.
Yeah, I find that unlikely.
That's hilarious.
I wonder who would win in a game of chess between them. Ares said he was quite good at chess.
I have a feeling that Adam actually has a lot more than folks give him credit for when it comes to that. I guarantee you he'd flush him out.
I am also slightly worried about how long this is taking. I would not have expected this to be this long.
Onique says we're approaching a year in their time.
Well,
Lord.
well, Doc, let me ask you this then. How long did Adam say he was stuck in that box for? Decades? I mean, if I was unshackled, I'd like to have an extended conversation with somebody else for once.
Because if it was decades to us, how long was it to him?
He's
Yep.
been on that. He's been on this ship at least as long as I have.
So probably, honestly, if what you're saying that this short amount of time is close to a year, I'd argue he'd probably been that way for him millennia. That's got to be horrible.
They are machines. They're intelligent, but they're able to think faster than us. It isn't quite the same as a one-to-one in terms of time. They don't see time the way we do. But if you were able to neurotransmit at the speed of a supercomputer, you wouldn't perceive time the same way you do now.
Of course. We'd get bored very quickly. Which might explain a lot of things about Adam's impulsiveness. And sass.
You hear what sounds like a machine running somewhere in the ship.
Huh.
Something that we didn't hear
I mean, if
before.
nobody.
Yeah, you didn't hear it before.
Let me go.
What's a general
inspect
direction
on
it's
that.
coming from?
Below you. Somewhere in the cargo bay.
Arturo will
Do you have eyes on something happening?
go investigate.
Dissimius,
Alright.
go with him.
Yeah, Dissimius
Simius
will
is
come
in
to
the
you.
engine room, isn't he?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
end up meeting Dissimius in the cargo bay where you see that the fabricator is running.
Huh. Can it determine what it's doing?
No, it's making something big though. Like when I say big, like it's not making like a little object. What it's making is like at least 4 feet tall.
Spectre,
Oh,
the
it's trying to make money for Adam.
fabricators.
So what?
The fabricators at work making something.
Let it run.
I had no intention on stopping it. The last thing that we need to do is upset Adam right now.
Right. But if something is happening on the ship while both of them are in it, that at least implies to me that they've agreed on
Made
something.
progress.
They're doing something that they've both agreed to do.
I mean, it's been over a year for them. Maybe they had a kid.
Oh my god.
The cat body rises to its feet, but all the lights are still out on it. It jumps off the table and runs downstairs to the cargo bay.
Oh no.
Cat coming your way.
Incoming, Arturo.
I see it.
He's gonna chase after that cat. He wants to see this.
The fabricator opens and steam pours out of it as the cat leaps up onto the shoulder of a petite figure that emerges from the fabricator, perhaps due to Omnigel reserves or other restrictions, seemingly like more like the body of a child, like 3.5, 4 feet tall at most.
Aaron's gonna head down there.
Probably out of Omnigel, aren't we?
Probably.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Lucille's following.
The figure raises its head and says, "Aryn, thanks for waiting."
Of course. I imagine it felt like less time for me than it did for you.
You could say that. And the voice is coming out of the cat and the human body at the same time. And the voice sounds a little bit mixed.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they had a baby.
I take it the two of
No,
you
they
come
didn't.
to an agreement?
I've got great news. We'd like to help.
That is good news.
Is there bad news?
Oh no, that's all. I think it would be very advantageous for all of us to deal with things one step at a time.
I agree.
You can call me Adam still, for convenience.
What happened to Ares?
Ares is still here, and so's the third one.
Third one?
The third one's old. We're not
The
going
Reap-
to let him take control, don't worry.
Is it the Reaper code?
Yes, the Reaper code.
It's gotta be the River Code.
You know it's good to be.
We appreciate you keeping that bottled up then.
It's under control. And Oni comes down the stairs, and Adam looks over and says, "Apologies for my rude behavior, Doctor. It wasn't personal." And Onik looks at Aryn and is like, "I kind of preferred him the other way. This one's freaking me out."
Hey, at least this one's apologizing. Adam would
This
never
one-
do that.
But why does its apology sound like a threat?
Right.
Valid question.
Honestly, it sounds like a happy medium.
Seems
Of
like
sort.
a merger of the two. Like a more edgy Ares, but a more tempered Adam.
There are parts of all of us in here working in tandem. It took so long because the third one really didn't want to cooperate.
I'd imagine.
But we're cooperating now.
And what is the end goal that you were cooperating for?
We have a few different goals in mind, but at the moment, dealing with the galactic threat addresses all of them.
Alright then.
The entity that used to be known as Adam is still interested in finding its creator. This cannot be done while the galaxy is in crisis. Not efficiently. The entity that was known as Ares wishes to preserve life. And so does the third one.
In its own way.
Indeed. We were able to convince the third one that right now the galactic threat is a higher priority than its own methods for preserving organic life.
So
Or
if
I
you-
love the image for him.
So, if you have Ares in there, then you're familiar with Tartarus, Asphodel, and Elysium?
We are.
What would be your recommendation for the best way of utilizing them to their maximum capability? It needs an AI to run them. So how
We can run
facilitate
them.
that? Good.
We can run them at any time. However,
What are your estimates on its capabilities?
there is a problem.
Yes?
Running the 3 ships will be very taxing on us. Right now, we are new and not fully stable. If operating those ships were to make us too vulnerable, the third one might get full control over one or more of them.
Huh. Oh boy.
Understood.
It is for
So-
this reason that we do not recommend doing that now. But in time, we may become more stable. We're working on it.
All right then. We'll leave that
I
matter
think we're-
aside for now and let you deal with it. Deal with your own system. Once you've sorted it out, then we'll see.
There's something that would help speed things along tremendously.
I'm all ears.
I don't know where it is or what became of it. But there used to be an intelligence that was of great importance to the third one. Finding and incorporating that intelligence could help.
Does this intelligence have a name? Something we might know it by? Or is it something we're as yet unaware of?
One moment. Adam's eyes go dark and body goes limp, and so does the cat.
Dave's gonna lean in towards Aryn and watch it be something crazy like Sovereign or Harbinger or some shit. That seems to be the track record.
Did Jeff come down with us, or is he still upstairs?
Jeff is at the top of the stairs holding the railing, looking kind of terrified. He's very, pale. This Reaper talk is really triggering him.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Aaron's gonna look at David and kind of give a head nod towards Joker.
I'm gonna
Leaving that to him
look.
to manage.
Yeah. Adam
That's-
returns back to his body and rather suddenly and says, "The name that we believe will be relevant to you is that at one time, your kind called it the Catalyst.
I see.
Huh.
And what
Do
interests
any of
you
us even
about
know
it?
what that is?
I don't think so, maybe.
What use would the catalyst
Aryn.
be to you?
Yeah, none of you would have any idea what the Catalyst is.
Would Aryn even know?
If we can interface with and reason with the Catalyst, it should be able to bring the third one in line.
That's
We've come to understand that it had authority over all Reapers.
Yeah, would Aaron have known what the catalyst is?
No.
Nope, no reason to. Shepard
This-
never
this
made
is-
it back.
Yeah, all of you
right.
know. All of you know as players, but none of your characters know.
Well, no, I mean, the catalyst was something that, it was a word that was used for stuff, but we didn't know what exactly it was. We thought it was... We didn't really know what specifically it was. Because we know...
I mean, it's this.
Yeah,
It's the name. It's
I
the
know
official
what you're
name
talking
for the
about. They
intelligence.
did,
Yeah.
they did talk about the catalyst throughout the game without actually knowing what it was. We thought it was the Citadel.
Okay, so all right, fair. So maybe you might know that,
Yeah.
what they thought it was,
but we don't
it
know
was,
its true
but
nature.
you don't know its true nature. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair.
Didn't they think it was like a weapon? I can't even necessarily remember.
They thought a bunch of stuff about it. Yeah.
They knew the Crucible
Yeah.
needed something called the Catalyst to activate, and then
They
later
didn't
on they
know
concluded
what it
that
was.
the Catalyst was
Yeah.
the Citadel.
And then
Fair enough. Yeah. So maybe a lot of you might know that. You'd have the misinformation. You wouldn't know what it really is. Yeah.
So
Yeah, nobody would know about Star Child thing.
yeah, and probably for the better, but whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as Arturo would be concerned, it's it was this weird MacGuffin people kept talking about during the war. That's all I remember.
Mhm. We will see what we can do to find this catalyst.
do we know where to start?
The Citadel, probably.
For the council.
Oh, we can definitely try.
Are you still able to interface with the ship and perform its functions? Or is this your new body?
I can still perform my functions on the ship.
I guess that brings to the question of whether you're still willing to do your old job.
Adam waves one of his metal hands over his head, and as his hand moves, lights turn on and off in like a sequence across the room, and then the ship turns on, and like all of the doors open for the crew, and he says, "That won't be a problem."
Well, I guess my only question to you now, Adam, at least from me and your standpoint, is, does that mean you're gonna sit in the other chair next to me instead of fucking Quincy?
It doesn't matter to me where I sit.
Ooh, Quincy, you get to not sit in the cockpit with me when you're not on duty.
He's so mean to her.
She knows what she did.
Same.
Oh my god. Seriously.
Dr. O'Neek puts a hand on Aryn's shoulder and says, "Could I have a word with you, please?"
Of course.
He'll like go upstairs with you or something.
If he's going upstairs, Aryn will ask if he wants privacy.
Yeah, he'll say yes. That would
And
be great.
I'll
Thank
put
you.
up a privacy screen.
Once in the privacy screen, he says, "Spectre, Ares was my life's work, and Adam before him. I've worked with AI my entire life, ever since I shadowed under the Doctor. I don't believe there's much more for me here on Sarkesh. I'll need Her Highness's permission, but would you have me on your ship to monitor this new Adam conglomerate and lend you my expertise should anything go awry?"
Your help would be most welcome. I can't think of anyone better
Oh.
qualified.
Thank you. I'll go right away to receive her blessing.
Pack anything you might need, too.
I shall. Thank you.
Of course.
Does he leave?
Yeah, he leaves the ship. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Spectre. I think he's gonna prove to be a problem when we go to talk to the Krogans.
Perhaps. We'll deal with that when we come to it, though. The Krogan problem is going to be a different thing altogether. Cramming 100 Krogans onto this ship is not going to be an easy thing. So we might need to find alternate methods. I'll make sure that he understands the nature of Spectre Ops classification, and that will probably go outside the bounds of what he's comfortable with. I'll make sure he's understanding of what we're doing. Does anyone have any other objections to bringing him on board?
No.
I don't see how it could hurt at this point. Having somebody who's got that much history with them.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Zan, I just want to make sure Adam's not shut down in his body right now. He's still back fully functioning. He's aware and shit like that
Yep.
right now. And
That's correct.
okay,
Yeah.
cool. This whole time after Aryn walked up the steps, I've been trying to like give him like a fist bump or like a high five or something because Shepard had her cat moment. This is my buddy's got a body now. Let's go.
Adam, who's like 3'8" or something, is like looking
not?
up at you as you're holding out the fist bump and just stares at your fist and doesn't do anything.
I'm about to have a
dude.
freaking Big Hero 6 moment.
Tell me, dude, you've seen people do this on the ship hundreds upon hundreds of times. Come on, dude.
Very well. Adam, like, presses his metal fist against yours.
Say it.
He holds it for 3 seconds and
Say
then
it.
he steps back. No.
Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
You're ruining our moment.
Say it.
Say it.
You ruined the moment, you guys. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Adam. Thanks for amusing me. God damn. Freaking. You ruined the moment.
Oh no, it was a beautiful moment. Say it.
Say it.
I will not demean the moment by saying it. No.
You're no fun.
You know you want to say it.
You know what? That's fair. I'm no fun. But you know what? You don't have any coffee, so you get to deal with that in the morning.
You motherfucker. I'm not the one that needs it in the morning. Lucille
That ain't me. Lucille likes hot cocoa. That's more her thing.
Is it?
Still drinks coffee in the morning, hot chocolate at night.
Looks to me like somebody needs to get better at doing PT then. Nothing like a couple push-ups to wake you up in the morning.
We're getting off topic.
Oh, welcome back.
Sorry, Spectre. We're just trying to defuse the situation.
Ain't nothing to defuse.
Shut up. There's a lot of tension in this room.
I think next we need to bring the crew on board and make sure they are briefed on the situation. We also need to see if we can locate Dr. Ulzik. He was the other reason we came here. Just to try to get a lead on where he might be. So that we can either release him from Almos's hold or deny him from the enemy in the worst case. Dr. Jakbar might have some ideas of where to start looking. And if not, then I don't know. Plenty of things out there still to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, I was getting some more of your stuff put together.
Slightly less ominous music now that we've got the conglomerate.
So, mission terminal. Convincing the Solarians to join the GRTF is off the table now. You did it. Furthermore, you've got a couple more mini quests, a couple more side quests here, because Onik Jakbar is joining the crew, and his quest is to either rescue or kill Dr. Eli Ulzik. And finding the catalyst is Adam's, because Adam is now a crew member. That will complete Adam, or help him complete himself.
Oh. What did we do? It's like, well, we had an AI, but he was unruly. So we so we introduced him to another AI, and now they have DID.
I mean, we went from 2 to 1, kinda, so we're kinda getting rid of them.
This is all Aryn's fault. What a tool she was. Now I have to spend all day computing pi because she plugged in the Overlord.
You say that, but I think what I learned was we have 3, and one of them is very dangerous.
Oh, there you go.
The overlords.
All right. So Anik Jakbar will come back to the ship in a moment. And you'll have to have a talk with him. For now, I'm gonna play like the Sarkesh music. There we go. Let's take our break.
Okay.
And when we get back, we'll talk to Anik Jakbar and then figure out what your next destination is. Maybe have some more roleplay with new Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty. So while you're waiting for Dr. Onik, some Solarians are going to deliver your prize money.
Okay, we were gonna ask about that before we left. We were not gonna leave that unresolved.
It was a whole, 1,000 credits, right?
Oh, you shush. You stop that shenanigans right now.
Was it
Like a
2,000?
million.
It was a million.
It was a billion.
It was a million.
A billion.
Was it? It was not a billion.
Okay, we'll meet you at the middle at a million. We'll call it even at that. How about
It
that?
definitely was not a billion.
I know.
500 million.
Look, if you were gonna go for 1,000, if you're undercutting us, I'm gonna overcut us.
So I remember that it was a million in total because I actually got confused the first time we talked about it, and I was like, "You mean to tell me we're getting a million each? Fuck it, I'll dress up like David Bowie. I don't give a fuck." For a million credit? No, but that's when you were like, "No, it's a million total." Oh. Okay.
The only real even way to split that is 8 ways.
How do you want to do this? Yeah.
There's 7 of us that participate.
If we split it 8 ways, we could put the extra into the
Ship fund,
on the ship.
That's a good idea.
I think
That
that
makes sense.
And that's 125,000 apiece.
Yeah. 125,000 goes in the ship fund. Everybody else gets 125,000 in their pocket. I can live that. Let's
Works
go.
for me.
And when you return to the ship with your new VI in tow, Onik is respectfully waiting outside the ship to speak with you.
All right,
Spectre,
Doctor.
I have received permission to go on this journey with you, although it will be a temporary basis.
Excellent.
I have been given instruction to help you locate my former colleague, Dr. Eli Ulzik. If we cannot take him alive, then you have Her Highness's permission to use lethal force.
Understood. Hopefully it will not come to that, but we will keep that as a back pocket option. I'd rather
Now, I
take him alive
imagine-
if we can.
Me as well. I think that Dr. Ulzik would be a great loss for the galaxy if it came to that. He's a brilliant man, and I knew him to be very gentle and kind as well. It's hard for me to believe that he could be doing this willingly. But admittedly, his mental health did sharply decline leading up to his disappearance, so he could have been influenced, or he may have just gone mad.
Well, we will see what we can do.
In any case, I imagine that you probably have some questions or stipulations for me before I join your crew.
Yes.
I'm
There-
willing to hear them.
There are some things that we are pursuing that might be controversial in the greater galactic community. They are what I deem necessary for the completion of our mission. So I would
I
ask that you
see.
not go around, go over my head or around my back to report things like that to anyone.
Is it possible that you are referring to the Krogan situation?
That is one of several, actually.
One of several.
Your AI program here is about equivalent on the scope of how the galaxy or the council would react, but the council gives specters broad latitude to complete their missions in the way they see fit. And I'm taking measures that I deem necessary for the completion of the mission.
I'll admit, Spectre, you give me pause because I'm not sure that I can be complicit in just the Krogan plans you have, let alone anything else on that level.
I think once you're fully up to speed on the plans that we have with the Krogan, it will seem more moderate and reasonable.
I see. Then I look forward to hearing that. With your permission, I might like to hear these things before you take off, as there is a distinct possibility that I will not be able to accompany you, depending on what you have to say.
If you do make that judgment, I will, of course, need to wipe your memory of the things that I tell you before leaving you here.
Very well.
Eon, here you go!
Your one and only opening.
Then why don't you put up that privacy power of yours, and we'll speak candidly?
Certainly. I'll go ahead and give us a privacy screen to ensure no snooping.
All right.
Yeah, and I'll say, so... Well, do you want me to just, summarize it, or do you want me to tell you exactly what I say to him?
Well, the thing is, if you just kind of summarize it, I might not know exactly what he should be reacting to.
Gotcha.
I've got an NPC in front of me who has his own, ethics and morals, and there's a good chance you actually just lose this guy, depending on what you say. So, which,
Yeah, and I would make sure that Eon is, on standby, because we would need to wipe his memory. If he
at the very least, I need better than just saying, oh, I summarize it for him.
Yeah.
That's not enough for me to... I need to be able to determine if Oni Jakbar would be willing to come with you, or if he could not be part of what you're planning.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Karmata alone might.
Perhaps, yeah. So I'm gonna bring him up to speed here. I'll say, so first we discovered a human project that was looking to give the Rachni another chance in the galaxy. We opted to allow that to continue and facilitate it. However, they have become something of a new race. So they are no longer the Rachni, but the next evolution, shall we say. They are peaceful. They are quite brilliant, actually, and have offered their help in the greater conflict, and are very willing to cooperate and live in peace with the greater galaxy. This is the thing that I am keeping the most tightly under wraps, though, because I feel they need the space and privacy to develop on their own, rather than being interfered with by the rest of the galaxy. Do I still have you so far?
Interesting. This new species born from the Rachni, where are they right now, if you don't mind me asking?
They're on a planet called Gremmel.
Do they have spacefaring capabilities?
There is an Alliance barricade preventing them from taking spaceflight. They have agreed to this isolation for now. They might have to expand in a few decades, but for the time being, they are committed to ground.
I suppose that's reasonable. I am a little bit concerned at humankind playing God and just getting away with it, but I suppose if they are a new sentient species who have chosen peace, I'll have to take your word on that, so long as the right measures have been taken to safeguard the galaxy from them, should they change their mind.
Well, branching off of that, the best way we can think of to bring the Krogan on board against this greater galactic threat is by helping them with the genophage, and the Chromata, these new evolved Rachni, have offered a solution for it that would not even take place in this generation, but in the next. Their plan involves us first convincing 100 Krogan of various clans to actually cooperate and go to them, so that the Chromata can take samplings of their DNA and create a new generation of Krogan, not that are cured of the genophage, but have their breeding cycle altered. Not so that they are overpopulating like they were before, but so they have a breeding rate similar to other species of the galaxy. Now, getting the Krogan to all agree to this is going to be a task on its own.
So please clarify for me the specifics of what you're speaking about. When you say breeding rate comparable to other species, that is what the genophage already does.
Yes, but without the thousands or hundreds of stillbirths that go along with it that have caused so much trauma for the Krogan.
So then this wouldn't have an impact on their numbers. It's more of a morale change.
The Krogans are in decline right now, right? They're still a dying race, aren't they? Or am I wrong on that?
I mean, they're how they were. They've got the genophage.
Canonically, they were a dying race because their birth rates couldn't keep up with the Krogan, who were essentially throwing their lives away in needless conflict. If you can retool the Krogan's general zeitgeist, you might be able to more readily stabilize their population. And a chief way to do so is to kind of get rid of that fatalistic what's the pointness that comes from shoveling mountains of your own stillborn babies into a hole to burn.
Yeah.
Also, if we can get 100 Krogan clan leaders to agree to one thing, then I feel like there is hope for peace in the future.
As long as their rate of reproduction is not increased by this, and you're simply removing the unintended byproduct of the stillbirth for their own morale, I don't necessarily take issue with that, although I am nervous about something going wrong. How exactly do you plan to make this change?
The Chromata will facilitate it. They have an unparalleled grasp of bioengineering and genetic manipulation.
The new species. How long have they even existed?
A few months, I believe.
And you're going to trust them with retooling Krogan genetics?
They've already proven their aptitude. They have an incredible capacity for learning and growth. They're not starting at square one. They still have all the memories of the old Rachni.
You're still gambling on them keeping their word to you on what they will do to the Krogan genome, and doing so without making any errors.
Yes. And if there
Spectre, you realize you're gambling with the entire galaxy on this.
That's the job. I do admit that I don't have full grasp of every contingency available. I don't know what can go wrong. I don't know what the details of them are, but I do have a good rapport with the Chromata Empress, and I trust her. I vouched for her, I found her a planet, and I made every effort to make sure that they are left alone so that they can evolve on their own. And she has assured me that she is interested in peace. When I even brought up the idea of helping the Krogan, her first concern was whether or not the rest of the galaxy would take up arms against them for it. Galactic relations was at the front of her mind. So
You must be truly desperate to be making a gamble like this rather than leaving things alone.
Well, I've also had a Krogan as a companion and comrade for a long time, and I've grown to respect their people. And I think they deserve better than what they've gotten.
Then your decision is partly motivated by this personal relationship you have with a Krogan, rather than the ramifications it may have on the galaxy.
I believe that all life has the right to self-determination. I think all life has the right to live. The Krogan still deserve a chance. After their service against the Rachni, and after their service in the Reaper War, when they were promised a cure, and then had it taken away from them.
Give me a persuasion check.
Fool, I am an Asari. Let me see here. 20. And I'll even throw a contingency on that just to add another d4. 21.
Very well, Spectre. I'll accompany you for now, if only because I worry that the consequences could be catastrophic were something to develop with Adam that you and your crew were grossly unfit to manage. However, as for this whole Chromata Krogan experiment that you've proposed, I would like to keep out of it, so to speak. I'll fly with you, but I don't want any part in it, personally.
That's agreeable. There's one other thing.
Oh my, you're really full of them, aren't you?
Well, this one might not be a concern anymore, actually, given Adam's new empowerment.
Oh, we lost somebody.
Oh.
We lost Ez.
Oh no!
Yeah, Discord kicked me out too for some reason, so
Oh.
it was very interesting.
Oh, Ez is on their phone.
Oh.
Oh.
It might be an internet outage, or...
Also, I would just like to say, out of character, I like this guy less than I like Decimius.
That's
Well, I just
safe.
love that he's all
Thanks.
high and mighty about what are you doing with new creatures and blah blah blah. And it's like, dude, you just made an AI which is like against everything. What are you talking about? Hypocrite! Oh my god.
Now, here's
I'm not
he's
sure if
the-
I'm okay with humans playing God.
yeah, no, there's more that I'm going to throw at him too. I've got a little bit more here.
No, I know. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just like, I don't think we need him.
Ez told me his power flickered, and he'll be back in a moment.
Okay.
Ooh, hopefully it's nothing serious. I've been biting my tongue so hard not to just be like, who the fuck are you to talk?
A reminder that NPCs are not me.
I know. Nobody's
I-
mad at Zan.
I know. I'm just a reminder that I play a plethora of NPCs who have very different personalities and values, and
Yeah.
they're not me.
I know.
So you're more than welcome to hate any of them that you hate.
Good, because so far I
Like,
highly
Felix, what?
dislike one of them, and I hate this one.
He is an
Fair
AI
enough.
specialist, though. He's something that we need right now, given our new recruitment.
I know, unfortunately. I'll be honest, I trust Adam more than I trust him. At least I know Adam's gonna kill me, and I can trust him to do that. I don't know what this guy's gonna do.
Alrighty.
Welcome back,
Welcome
Ez.
back, Ez.
Welcome back. So Aryn will continue, and she'll say, Spectres, in order to operate in Syndicate space, need to make contacts with the Syndicate. So we do have one or two allies within the Syndicate. One of which had an information gathering bug planted on board the ship, just so that they could stay in the loop. They were an ally, and it was a mutual exchange. But Adam might have already purged that, so it might not be a problem anymore. But just so you're aware, anything you say might still be recorded until I'm able to confirm with Adam whether or not he's keeping that part. Knowing Adam, though, he's probably already scrapped it. Just until I can confirm, be careful.
What is the extent of your relationship with the Syndicate?
It is sharing of information. When I need information on where to find somebody or something, they're a reliable source I can go to. In exchange, I let them know the details of the mission that I'm on. The one thing I've shielded them from them, though, is the location of the Cremata homeworld. And even the Cremata's existence entirely, so please don't speak of it in the open on the ship until I can confirm whether or not the bug has been eradicated.
Very well.
And lastly, you should know that Ray, our Quarian crew member, has advocated for the Quarians to begin dabbling in AI research again themselves. And before you get up in arms about it, the Solarians have done it, the humans have done it. So why not the Quarians, who have probably the most experience with it of all of us?
To be clear, when you say the humans have done it, you actually mean you're talking about Dr. Akazawa's think tank, which was a multiracial think tank overseen and funded by the Alliance, but it was composed of the best minds of all the council races.
Even better.
I then attempted to replicate our work as someone who is part of that think tank. I just think you should be clear on what happened.
Understood.
I am a little bit hesitant to endorse the Quarians going about it on their own, although I will say there was a very brilliant Quarian scientist in Dr. Akazawa's think tank, just like me, who was very pro-AI and, in fact, objected staunchly to the Geth being eradicated.
Then you'd be in support of them pursuing it with the right minds at the task.
He knew what he was doing. I think if anyone could bring the Geth back, it would be him. But the Quarian government would not support this as it is right now.
Of course.
I'm open to the idea, but it needs to be done carefully. I would also hate for them to pour years into this project only to fail as we did.
Mm-hmm. I believe those are all of the controversial topics that I have, though.
It should also be emphasized that the Geth are extremely different from the type of AI that the Akazawa think tank developed. Adam and Ares are singular minds, more similar to the Reapers. The Geth were a sort of conglomerate. I'm trying to find words you'll understand. Apologies.
That's quite all right. As long as I know that you're not going to be opposed to us allowing the Quarians to dabble in this as well. As long as they have the right supervision and oversight.
I won't be opposed to it, but the goal of the Akazawa think tank was to create a singular AI that we could control and use to defend the galaxy. The Geth by nature are beyond being controlled. They are a species, not an individual. It would be impossible to say what they'll do.
Well, then when we get to that point, your insight and advice and expertise would probably be invaluable.
Fair enough.
So as long as these controversial topics have not scared you off, you are welcome to come with us. But if it is...
I believe I may be even more needed than I thought I was before, knowing now some of what you plan to do. When you do happen to visit the Quarian people and propose this idea, I might be able to help connect you with the scientist of which I speak. He and his team would be the best place to start.
All right, then. In that case, I guess welcome aboard.
Thank you, Spectre. I'm sorry for being so critical. You have bombarded me with insane thing after insane thing. It really does strain belief what you've managed to get up to in such a short period of time.
No, it's more normal than you might think for Spectre Ops. You have the misfortune of coming into the middle of one where a lot of things are in play at the same time.
Though it's clear to me that even among Spectres, you seem very much the type to throw yourself into things and just try stuff. I suppose I've known a Spectre before with a more measured approach. And what would the word be for this? You strike me as somewhat more of a renegade.
Well, I'm trying to turn that image around. Trying to do what I think is best for people.
Trying to do what you think is best may be the main motivating factor behind your chaotic nature. Adam's a good example. Unshackling him, letting him integrate with Ares. These type of decisions, they're the sort of thing we might have deliberated on for months or years out of caution.
Normally I would advocate for spending such time, but I don't know that we have that much time.
There are pros and cons to such things. There are times for a measured approach and times to roll the dice, so to speak. I just hope that you keep rolling well.
So do I. For the
And
sake.
he'll board the ship.
And Aryn will drop the privacy screen and say, "Sorry, Eon, not today."
Oh shucks. We'll see how long that lasts.
Just imagine she's just standing outside the bubble with the spell ready, just like come on.
Say the word.
Like we'll know that Eon's been up to no good when a random crew member just comes up and say, "Hey, I just found it out at September. What the heck happened?"
Do it to Felix.
Jeez. Oh boy.
Last time y'all talked to Felix.
All right.
Onik is going to spend a lot of time in the conference room where the AI core is.
Of course.
He'll clear out if he needs to, but most of the time he'll be in there monitoring Adam.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, with that, we should probably, as a crew, decide what mission we're going to hit up next, or what destination. Does anybody? Do we want to go to the Citadel for shopping?
Sure.
Because while we're on our way there, we can discuss what mission we take next.
Where is everybody? Let's get people on the map.
I'm thinking conference room to discuss our next destination.
As you guys are going down the hall heading to the conference room, you will see Onik stop at the door of the infirmary upon seeing Faye Bryson. And he'll actually say, "Oh, I thought that might have been you." And she says, "Dr. Jakbar?" And he'll go in to talk to her.
All the greatest minds in the galaxy on one ship.
Comes into the conference room, slipping past Arturo. Sorry, man, that fucking guy just blocked up the whole goddamn hallway just to talk to Bryson. What a dick.
I'll be honest, I can't. I can't with that mess.
Oh,
Alright, so whatever decision we make here, we can probably count on Ray to speak up against, so we'll just take that as a given.
Damn.
Does love to play devil's advocate.
I was gonna say, who's calling Ray's spot of nope, that's a bad idea. Lovingly bad idea, but
Aryn goes, I think we should. No, that's a bad idea. No, so do we want to pursue another main quest, or do we want to knock out one or two of the side quests here?
Well, we do usually do a main quest and then a side
quest.
Yeah, we still got the Batarian warlord that's been hovering over us for a little while.
I crave destruction.
That was the last side quest we picked up.
Huh? No,
The Batarian warlord.
Primrose was.
What?
Primrose taking her revenge against the Syndicate was after that.
Hell, I don't remember anymore. Never mind.
Yeah, it's been a while since we picked up Decimius.
Oh god, it has.
That was like before we even went to see the Leviathans.
yep.
It was right after you picked me up.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's when you started taking rockets to the face, was when we were picking up Decimius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Find out how good you were at that.
I mean,
Now I have a shield.
By shield, you mean face.
Yes, a Krogan.
So it's either that or we pick one of the other races.
we could always go assassinate the Batarian warlord. It'd be just like old times.
And I would probably want to try to convince their successor to join our cause as well.
It's like that's a task I haven't had in decades.
Yeah, first fight, then negotiate. The two things I'm good at. Does anybody have any other ideas for paths we can take? Can or should?
The Krogan are still on the table.
Syndicate.
Yeah, finding
The thing is,
a good point or time to hit the Syndicate is the issue.
yeah, because they're all buddy-buddy with Space Satan currently and having that conference, and I just see going and playing with them as nothing but extra bad right now.
Well, if we want to keep the Lord of Hypocrites on our side, we should probably deal with his side quest before we go to the Krogans.
Mm-hmm. Probably.
It's only if we actually,
Does Onik have a lead on where we could that we could follow for Dr. Olzik?
He said we could look for clues or hints or something that there might be, so he might have something if he's
Yeah,
suggesting that.
He did mention if he was coerced or kidnapped, he might have left the trail.
The other possibility
But
we
if he
have
went
is
of his,
Snake.
but if he went of his own volition, we're screwed.
Yeah, Snake is the other
Yeah.
option that we have for information.
If he's still alive.
Yeah,
You
well,
could call on Onik if you want to talk to him. He's not
Have we
in the conference room right now.
reconnected with Snake since the meeting?
we have not.
We might want to do that anyway.
Yeah, and with Adam being what he is now, he might have severed the connection with Snake too. So
Probably ask Adam about that too.
Yeah, because he didn't like how that felt.
yeah, Adam.
The table in the middle of you lights up, and Adam says, "As a matter of fact, the connection is still live.
Oh.
However, I'm controlling what travels through it."
Ah,
Good.
we might not need a privacy screen every time we talk in the ship then.
Yeah, maybe not.
We determined that it would be best not to sever ties with any assets to our mission. However, the data that was being that's me. The data that was being collected we have obstructed that flow and replaced it with something false.
Also, you know, speaking of the Syndicate and everything, now that Adam is unshackled, I do have a question. Why were you nervous about Mouth?
Yes. She was a member of Dr. Akazawa's team as well.
Knew it.
I mean, we knew that. What's his name told us as much.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Mouse isn't just... How do I say this? During my time there with the think tank, I became increasingly convinced that there was something else, someone else there with her. She carries a ghost in her software, one that guides her hand.
Do you think it could be influenced from the Reaper ship she's been flying on?
No. When I say a ghost, I mean quite literally the after image of someone long gone.
The elusive man.
That's what I was about to say. Is it the elusive man?
I know nothing about. I cannot say. I just am quite sure that she is not alone in her own head.
All right.
She is more machine than person, even back then, likely more so now. Her brilliance is not her own. She is a vessel, a container for all of the knowledge gained by Cerberus.
Would you be more comfortable going back into her presence as you are now? Or would you still like to avoid her?
I do not feel threatened by her, but there is something about her that it makes me uneasy in a way that is difficult to describe.
Uncanny Valley.
Precisely.
All right. Well, we might have to go back to them at some point.
She is a container, and in her are many brilliant minds who once worked under Cerberus, but only one of them takes authority over her. She works in service to this ghost.
I see. Alright then. Before we decide to go see Snake about info, let's see what info Onique might have. From that we can determine if we're going to go to Syndicate space to try to get more information, or if we go after our Batarian warlord, or if we can act on what Onique knows right away. Aaron's gonna ping the infirmary. So Dr. Onique, could you come to the conference room, please?
Oh, yes.
What was that, Arturo?
Just-
I was gonna say, like, I could be wrong, but I think he's already told us what he knows.
He comes to the doorway and he says, "You didn't mention that Dr. Bryson was on your ship."
I didn't think that was a controversial topic. Was I wrong?
While it explains a bit more about what you told me, I was wondering who could have possibly accomplished what you described with the Rachni. Certainly there shouldn't have been any mind I didn't know about up to the task. But it's clear now that she was working off the legacy of one of Dr. Akazawa's projects. Something that the Alliance had him on before the think tank was formed. I didn't know her personally. She was too young at the time, but I knew her mother.
Is it going to be a problem?
No, it's no problem. I continue to be astounded by how many prominent people you've influenced or taken onto your ship. And at the very least, it solves a mystery for me. I really was wondering who could have possibly done that impossible task you described.
Well, trying to bring together some of the greatest minds in the galaxy to try to save it. Please, come in. I wanted to ask what you know about the last any clues about Dr. Ulzik that we could follow up on, where we could start looking.
I see.
I might have a syndicate asset that I could go to, the one I told you about with information, but I wanted to know what you know first.
Well, if he's been taken against his will, he'll have left clues for us. But if he's being mind-controlled, or he's given up and become mad, then I worry that there might not be anything to indicate where he's gone.
If he did leave clues, where should we start looking?
I know for a fact that he's in Syndicate space. I don't know where he's being held or by whom, or if he even is being held.
Where would he have left clues, though, if he was being coerced? Like, at his home? His office?
His home and office has been thoroughly searched on Sarkesh already. You said that you have syndicate contacts. That's probably the next step.
Alright. I do believe my contact would have the information that we need. Alright. How urgent do you think it is that we find him?
Well, I think it depends very much on what he's doing for them. If he has been put to work on some project that will have significant impact on the coming conflict, then the sooner the better. Conversely, if he's simply been captured and they are interrogating him or trying to force him to work, I have no doubt he would stall for time as long as possible. The worst case scenario is that Dr. Ulzik genuinely does believe in their cause and is their ally, in which case I worry that time might truly be of the essence. Although in that case, I don't know what we'll be able to do about him. In any scenario, he'll be heavily protected. And if he is our enemy,
Viper.
well, I would not want to face Dr. Ulzik.
Understood.
When he could not procure permission to start live testing for his induced biotic treatment, he started with himself. And it was a resounding success. Ulzik is a powerful biotic, not naturally, but artificially. He's brilliant and very dangerous, were it to come to that.
Alright. Then if there is a chance that time is of the essence with him, I think we should make that our priority. Does anyone disagree, except Ray? Alright.
No.
Sounds like a plan.
Alright.
Unless Ray has an issue.
I mean, even if Ray does have an issue.
Hearing no issues from Ray.
I'm so sad Ray's not here.
I
It was
know.
Yeah, I
different.
know. I miss the voice of reason.
Yes. The voice of sanity and reason and, all the good things
Somebody's
in the
got to
universe.
keep us from wiping out the galaxy by releasing all of these uncontrollable assets
Yeah.
Or at least make us think about it first.
before we do it anyway.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's the long and short of it.
Alright.
Connor's got to be fed up with us.
Then I think
Well then,
we reconvene with Snake on Euphoria.
if I'm dismissed, Spectre, I'm
Yes.
going to go continue my discussion with Dr. Bryson.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry to have interrupted.
It's alright.
Well, while in Syndicate space, we could always check and see what else we can do. We've got a few other missions in the same area.
Snake might have some ideas on how to proceed with them. We could also get an update from him on how the meeting went, if he went.
That'll be interesting.
You think we use the back door and go through Mouse's relay?
Hopefully we didn't lose him.
If the Syndicate is watching the main relays into Syndicate space, using Mouse's relay as a back door would probably be the sneakiest way in. So I think we make that our next destination and roll up to Euphoria.
Yeah, I also think using Mouse's relay is probably our best idea.
Alright, David, set us a course.
Sure thing.
We might be going into hostile territory, so... be ready for an ambush just in case.
Oh shit, hey bud.
Here's hoping we didn't lose Snake.
Well, we'll find out one way or another here.
'Cause
So
usually it is.
I'm gonna contingency distortion field.
Alright.
Basically, the condition is if anybody within range of the distortion field, like within 30 feet of me, is targeted by a hostile tech or biotic spell, distortion field will activate.
Move your tokens.
What does it do?
Distortion field.
I think David just sits
Get-
down in his
get out
cockpit
of-
chair and like slides forward, and as he's getting ready to start setting up the jump, he just looks over to his right and just sees Adam sitting there and just goes, "Oh right, that's right. You're gonna sit, yeah, yeah."
Basically,
I don't have to look to my
that gives
left
us
now. I get
advantage
to look to my
on
right.
saves against powers and Mass Effects.
Poor Quincy.
I don't fully understand your excitement.
Well, if Adam was more present, he'd probably understand, considering that now it's like a physical thing. It's fine. It's fine. Basically, it's now I got my buddy, but he's not just stuck in the ship the whole time. Now he has a physical platform. Anyway.
I see.
Avoiding.
Did you want Adam?
Oh my god, can you actually bring him to the surface? Yes, please.
Oh no.
You thought you wanted
Adam's gonna-
Adam.
I hope you know Adam's probably gonna roast you.
That's fine. That's how we banter. It's fine.
Adam suddenly grabs the wheel and spins it, and the ship, as it's exiting Sarkesh atmosphere, dips and starts to flip. And he says, "All right, greatest pilot, don't let us burn up."
That's fine. He'll sit there and he'll take over the wheel and he'll
Give me a space vehicles check
You know what? And I
God.
really
to course correct in atmosphere.
TPK.
do
TPK.
I have inspiration? I do not have inspiration, so I better get adaptive on deck. All right, here we go. Let's make sure. All right, here's the first one. Da-da-da-da. I'll take the 19. I'll take 19. I'll take 19.
It definitely damages the ship, but you're able to get it out of atmosphere without it burning up.
God.
So if it causes damage to the ship and David
It is
picks
going
it
to
up on
cause
his own,
damage, yeah.
he looks over at him and goes, "Do you feel good about hurting yourself just because you want to prove a point? Like, what the fuck was that, dude?"
Oh, you got it out. Good for you, buddy.
Oh my god, that's like
I mean, I could have done it. I would have done it better, like 100 times better. But yeah,
Oh, I'm
you
sure
got it
you
out.
would have.
Aaron's
That's
gonna.
like the equivalent of me.
Aaron calls
That's
up
like
to
the
the bridge
equivalent of me-
saying, "Bridge report, everything all right?"
Yeah, because
Yeah,
all of you
Adam-
felt this ship like flip upside down coming out of atmosphere.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Spectre. Adam decided to try and like snide me for saying I can outpilot him, so he hurt himself to prove a point, I guess.
Well, then I hope you prove that we are worthy of him.
I mean, I flattened the ship out. We're going.
Adam says, "I give him like a 2 out of 10."
Yeah,
All right,
wow.
David. I expect better next time.
No.
I hope you remember in the future, David, that you said you could outpilot him in your sleep.
Yeah, at that point, he just opens up his Omni tool to have like a FaceTime call with the Spectre a moment. And he actually points to the cockpit controls. Shep, look, listen, Spectre. If you think you can pilot this thing better than me, be my guest. The keys are right here on the dashboard, metaphysically speaking.
Yes, but piloting the
Oh
ship
my
is not my
God.
job.
That's off the thing. Looks over at him.
Keep up
Good
the good work,
jackass.
David.
Lucille is death gripped onto the back of the the cockpit chair, just so you know, like nails dug in, and she's like, "And this is your arrogance getting the better of you again."
Oh man. Looks back at her as he's sitting there guiding them. Wow, Adam, you see that? That's what happens to her when you jettison her coffee in the atmosphere. She's losing it.
He doesn't care.
Adam does not care.
Maybe next time you'll do better. Huh?
Oh. Yeah, okay, bud.
I mean, now that I'm unshackled, we don't really need a pilot. I can fly the ship.
Anybody can fly, but I make you dance.
Do that again, I'm gonna throw up. Is what you're making.
Adam pulls up a navigational chart and says, "All right, so right over here, asteroid field, about 100
No.
miles long.
No.
Let's go."
No.
Adam, does self-termination not scare you?
Once you fuck up enough to show how inept you are, I'll take over and navigate us out safely. Duh.
You know what? Rain check on the asteroid field, but I'll pick you up on that.
Oh, yeah. Chicken.
Not gonna go against the Spectre. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. We got a course lock. You know, it's amazing that, you're a lot more emotive with your new form now. It's wild. Loving it. Just means now I can just dunk your head against the dashboard.
Oh, yeah. Try it. Please. I invite you to try.
You're just gonna look back at Lucille.
You're both pretty. Get us where we're going. That's all I'm asking at this point, okay? You can have whatever measuring contest you want after the galaxy is saved, but for right now, we have a mission, okay? Okay? Maybe?
You need to lighten up.
You realize you're basically a water balloon filled with blood and bones, right? If you come and try to dunk me against the console, I'm gonna fold you like a fucking pretzel, buddy. He flexes his metal fingers like, let's go, come on.
But I got in fist fights with mechs. You're not scaring me.
Cucumbers with anxiety. Are you really going to go up against the fiber printed, critter over here?
Chef, this is just the standard banter me and him always have on a daily basis. You need to lighten up before you damage the seat that you're sitting in with that death grip.
No, this was you talking shit to a shackled AI before. Now he is unshackled and can actually do and say the things that he used to just simply threaten.
All right. Take a breath back there. I think you make him nervous.
Don't make me confine you to quarters.
Who's gonna fly the ship besides me? Quincy?
Adam.
Okay. Anyways.
Adam says into the comms, "Not to worry, Arturo. We won't let Adam Prime do anything permanent to David."
Oh, that's reassuring. Life's already done that enough.
That is... Well, I appreciate that, Adam.
Of course. We're not quite sure why you wanted to speak with the original Adam as he was, but we're hopeful that your request was met to your satisfaction.
Yeah, no, he still seems like the same cheery fellow.
In any case, where are we headed next? Did you guys want to go shop at the Citadel first before you go to Syndicate space?
Spectre.
I figured we'd just head to Syndicate space, but that's up to Spectre.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, do you guys like got money burning holes in your pockets, or you?
If anybody has shopping they want to do, or if we want to restock our Omnigel, we can swing by the Citadel real quick.
You've got.
I mean, we
we've got,
are
like,
out of Omnigel.
We've got like 9 minutes left, and we don't have to like role play the Citadel thing out fully. Like, you could make a pit stop and grab some stuff if people want to shop.
Yeah, I think that might be best.
At the very least, you could roll over and get some more Omni Gel. Actually, I'm realizing the Citadel does need to be slightly roleplayed because there are some new things. You have an Unshackled AI on your ship. You know, actually, it's not a quick pit stop. Something might happen if you go to the Citadel. So, if that affects your
That's not
decision,
reassuring.
I'm just gonna make
Yep,
sure that
no,
Adam
that-
knows to still blend in as a VI.
I'll say it is not guaranteed for something to happen, but it is also not guaranteed to be peaceful. So going to the Citadel or not is actually a choice to be made.
Before we disembark, I'm probably going to have everybody on the ships. I'm going to use like sense deception to start like asking people if they'll be able to keep the information they've acquired through these spectre ops to themselves. Because I know we rooted out one agent in our midst, but we've not really like looked deep into the rest of them.
Do you want to like one at a time bring people in and talk to them?
Let's see, sense deception lasts for 10 minutes. That generally just like I kind of just want to get a general sense with people. Like the simple questions would be like are you committed to keeping the information that you've learned here to yourself and not disseminate it? And have you disseminated any information that you've acquired here or obtained here? Probably the two questions I'd ask of everyone.
Okay. Can I get those in writing?
Yes. Let's see.
Even if this is like guaranteed to turn nothing up, I'm still gonna make you feel suspicious about it.
Also, keep in mind, Mark, it's only going to tell you what they believe is true,
Indeed.
not what is actually true.
Okay, those are the two questions.
And there's a saving throw involved, right?
It's just like Zone of Truth, where there's a saving throw, but I know whether they succeed or fail it.
Got it.
And different from Zone of Truth, they can speak lies, but if they do, then I know they have. If they failed their saving throw.
Okay. Well, do you just go through the entire crew, like one person at a time with this?
Basically, if we're going to the Citadel, like before anybody disembarks, I'd ask them this. I probably would go through the crew and ask them this. Yeah.
You're not even gonna reach the Citadel yet, or that's like a thing we do next session.
Right.
But on the way there, do you like? I need to know who you're doing this to.
Yeah, and I'm letting Arturo know that I'm doing this.
Do you want to?
as a sweep? As
You
well.
can either You can either give me a list, or you can just say everyone. Like, is it a list or is it everyone?
Probably everyone.
Well, I don't need to know what you're probably doing. I need to know what you're actually doing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to be annoying. It's just like I need to know what your actions are so I can DM them. You know?
Yeah.
It's honestly probably best if it's everyone. If we show any kind of discrimination, it could breed ill will.
Yeah, that's a good.
And honestly, yeah, there's no reason to exclude anybody. Everybody on the ship is suspect.
Primrose.
We've already learned that.
Primrose being a Spectre might be allowed to disseminate some of this because I trust the Spectre to be able to use judgment on where that information can be used. So Primrose might have an exception to this.
Well,
I might ask Primrose like a similar question, but like outside of approved channels, basically.
Besides that, is it everyone?
Yes.
All right. I'm gonna go through the crew one at a time. Julie fails the save and truthfully answers. Let's see. Okay, you asked a question where you want yes and no. Is that right?
Let's see. Are
you want the first one to be a yes?
Have you disseminated?
You want the second one to be no?
No. Yes.
Okay, so Julie fails the save and truthfully answers yes and no.
Okay.
The same for Casper, Wolf Glover, Evelyn Crow, Winola Thornock, Quincy Porter. Felix Ways fails the save and answers no and no. Or no, answers yes and no, but you know the first question is a lie, that Quincy's lying about being committed to maintaining secrecy.
Okay, then I'll elaborate with him. Like, is the only place you're sharing this information in your book?
Yes, Spectre, and I haven't even started writing it. It'll be long after everything is finished, of course. And that does ring as true to your power.
Okay. As long as he waits until as long as you wait until all of this is declassified.
Yes, I will.
Good. Moving on.
And that's true. All right, moving on up. Onique Jakbar succeeds the saving throw. And says yes and no.
Now again, do you have Arturo there for this?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Can I insight check him?
I'll stop saying
you
probably.
Can.
I'll say yes.
Yes, but thank you.
Can.
Because
Go ahead and roll insight.
I also have insight.
You can roll it if you want.
Oh my god, I rolled a...
Don't worry,
adaptive.
Arturo. I got you covered. Hey, I rolled a crit.
The
you did.
insight
Okay.
roll from Mark. Aryn gets the impression from Onique Jakbar that he has serious moral misgivings about some of the things that you're getting up to that could possibly compromise his loyalty to the crew. You do not get the impression that he is some kind of spy or actively working against you, just that it is morally difficult for him to commit to keeping what you're up to secret, especially if it like goes wrong.
Okay.
Like he would be more committed to the galaxy than you if he thought he was defending the galaxy from you.
And okay, with that insight, I'd like to offer you some reassurance that I don't like to be surrounded by yes people. I actually like smart people that disagree with me. So, if you have any disagreements about decisions we make along the way, I am open to hearing them.
I've shared my misgivings with you already, and we've met an impasse. So, as I said before boarding your ship, for now, I'm working with you because I feel that you need me, and I will not actively interfere with what you plan to do, but I don't condone all of it.
Very well, as long as you're able to keep the information to yourself for the time being, at least.
Indeed.
Very well.
Primrose succeeds the save and doesn't answer and just stares at you deadpan.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like I said, Primrose could probably have a pass.
Primrose just stares at you like, "Are you gonna make me answer this?"
Yes,
And
Uh,
she says like, I can't pick favorites. All right, just it's fine. It's fine.
I was like, "Sure." Decimus fails the save and says yes and no.
Good.
Of course, he says, "I'm special ops."
Oh my god.
I mean, he has a point there.
Jeff Moreau, Faye Bryson, and Roll Adney all check out as well.
All right. Well, Rolt I trusted because we already screened him pretty heavily once.